Trump won re-election, which is, to put it mildly, not what I was personally hoping would happen. Director Kash Patel is apparently an option there, a man so devoted to Trump, he even has a series of children's books called The Plot Against the King.
Did you hear about Trump's latest meltdown? John Oliver sure did, and he's not holding back. Our favorite British comedian is serving up a roast so hot it could melt the hairspray right off Trump's head. But here's the real kicker. While Trump thinks he's giving the speech of a lifetime, Oliver's busy turning it into comedy gold. Stick around to see how a presidential address becomes the punchline of the year, and why Trump's political genius might just be his best joke yet. Picture this, grumpy Trumpy at the podium, his face scrunched up like he just sucked on a lemon. The crowd's going wild, but Donnie Diapers looks like he'd rather be anywhere else. Maybe he's realizing he actually has to do the job now. So there he is, surrounded by a sea of red hats and lock her up t-shirts. You'd think he'd be on cloud 9, right? Wrong. Our orange friend starts rambling like your drunk uncle at Thanksgiving. He actually says, "It's just crazy. I can't believe it." Well, neither can we, buddy. This speech is about as coherent as a best man's toast after downing a bottle of tequila. Trump's bouncing from topic to topic faster than a squirrel on Red Bull. One minute he's talking about how he won, the next he's complaining about the media. It's like watching a human pinball machine. And the quotes? Oh boy, they're comedy gold. He actually said nobody has ever done so much in the first 3 years. Really, Donnie? What about the guy who invented sliced bread? Or the person who came up with the idea to put wheels on suitcases? Now those are achievements. But wait, it gets better. Trump goes on to say, "We have the greatest economy in the history of our country." Has he ever heard of the Roaring 20s? Or does his version of history only go back to 2016? It's pretty clear our commander-in-chief is living in his own little world. A world where facts are optional and reality is whatever he says it is. It's like he's the star of his own personal reality show, The Apprentice, White House Edition. But here's the kicker. While Trump thinks he's giving the speech of a lifetime, he's actually handing comedians material on a silver platter. This isn't a victory speech, it's a stand-up routine. And the best part? He doesn't even know it. And you know that feeling when you're watching a magician and you're dying to know how they pulled off that trick? That's exactly how Trump must feel watching John Oliver expose his lies. Only difference is, there's no magic here. Just cold, hard facts served with a side of British wit.
To blame people. Trump was literally just elected president again, on a platform of doing exactly that.
As Oliver's show kicks off, you can feel the energy in the room. The audience is buzzing like a beehive that just found out the queen bee got caught in a scandal. They're ready for Oliver to sting, and boy does he deliver. Right off the bat, Oliver addresses the elephant in the room, or should we say the orange turd in the White House. He opens with, "If you've been consumed by it all week, you may have missed some smaller stories that got buried." It's like he's saying, hey, I know the world's on fire, but let's take a moment to laugh at the arsonist. Then, Oliver starts dissecting Trump's speech like a high school biology student with their first frog. He's methodical, precise, and somehow manages to make the whole thing hilarious. He compares Trump's rambling to a drunken bachelorette party karaoke night. Can you imagine? Trump belting out "I will survive" while his toupee tries to escape.
But it is still incredible to see an incoming president ad-lib a victory speech with the same energy as a best man who didn't realize he had to give a toast.
But Oliver's not just here for laughs. He's got a job to do, exposing Trump's lies one by one. It's like watching a master chef filleting a fish, except the fish is orange and keeps yelling fake news. Oliver takes each of Trump's claims and fact checks them faster than you can say kafif. And the analogies? Oh, they're as on point as Trump's hair is. Not. Oliver's comparisons are so spot on, they should come with a warning label. May cause uncontrollable laughter and sudden realization of political truths.
His campaign was an avalanche of lies and fear-mongering, when it wasn't just outright chaos, especially toward the end.
But here's where Oliver really shines. He uses all this humor to shine a light on the serious stuff. It's like he's sneaking vegetables into a kid's mac and cheese. You're laughing so hard, you almost don't realize you're learning about the dangers of misinformation and the importance of fact-checking. As the segment builds, you can feel Oliver gearing up for his knockout punch, and when it lands, it's a doozy. He takes Trump's self-proclaimed political genius and turns it into the biggest joke of all. It's like watching a magician reveal that the rabbit was in the hat all along, except the rabbit is Trump's ego and the hat is his inability to tell the truth.
Featuring a logo that appears to be this Punisher skull with Trump hair, which first very, very cool. And second,
Remember when your mom told you to count to 10 when you're angry? Trump must have missed that lesson. Instead of cooling off, he fired up Twitter and went on a rampage that would make a toddler's tantrum look tame. But here's the kicker. Did Trump's meltdown just prove Oliver right? Picture this. It's 3 a.m. at the White House. All is quiet except for one room where the soft glow of a smartphone illuminates a familiar orange face. Grumpy Trumpy is up past his bedtime, and he's got a bone to pick with John Oliver. The first tweet hits like a hammer on a rusty nail. John Oliver is a total loser who is trying to get attention by attacking me. Sad. Oh boy, looks like someone's diaper needs changing. But wait, there's more. Trump's thumbs are working overtime, churning out tweets faster than he can say fake news.
Trump won re-election, which is, to put it mildly, not what I was personally hoping would happen.
As the night wears on, Trump's posts get wilder than his hair in a windstorm. He starts ranting about the media being rigged against him, calling Oliver a puppet. It's like watching a conspiracy theory come to life, one poorly punctuated tweet at a time. But the real gem comes when Trump tries to flex his vocabulary muscles. In one tweet, he calls Oliver a very bad comedian. Yes, you read that right. Comedian. Looks like someone needs to have a chat with spell check, or maybe attend a few elementary school English classes. These tweets are like a window into Trump's soul, if he had one. They reveal a man with skin thinner than the excuses for his hair. Every jab from Oliver seems to hit a nerve, sending Trump into a tailspin of all caps and exclamation points. As the Twitter tirade reaches its crescendo, Trump pulls out the big guns. He boldly declares, "If John Oliver thinks he can take me down, he is sorely mistaken. I will fight back harder than ever." Ooh, we're shaking in our boots, Donnie Diapers. What are you gonna do? Tweet us to death. In the end, Trump's meltdown proves Oliver's points better than any comedy sketch ever could. It's like Trump watched Oliver's show and thought, hey, I can make myself look even worse. Congratulations, Mr. President, mission accomplished. Well, folks, the internet didn't just have a field day, it had a whole field week. Trump's Twitter meltdown sparked a comedy bonanza that would make even the grumpiest cat crack a smile. But here's the million-dollar question. Did this online roast fest actually change anything, or was it just a bunch of hot air? Twitter exploded faster than Trump's ego after a compliment. Memes were flying left and right, each one funnier than the last. One gem showed Grumpy Trumpy at the podium with the caption, "When you realize you have to give a speech, but you forgot your notes." It's like they caught a glimpse inside that orange head of his. But wait, there's more. The celebs couldn't resist jumping on this comedy train. Sarah Silverman, Queen of Snark, tweeted, "Trump's victory speech was like a drunk uncle at a wedding trying to tell a story but forgetting the punchline." Ouch! Looks like Sarah's been to some interesting weddings. Maybe she should invite Trump to the next one. It'd be a hoot. Before you could say, Kofef. Trump toast was trending hotter than a MAGA hat at a Democratic convention. Everyone and their grandma was sharing their own take on Trump's speech. It was like a nationwide game of who can make fun of Trump the best.
Which things he actually believes, and create a version of him that suits you. And that can be the case even when his intentions are very clear.
And let me tell you, there were some strong contenders. Speaking of contenders, TikTok users were having a field day. They started reenacting Trump's speech with exaggerated gestures and facial expressions that would make Jim Carrey jealous. It was like watching a bunch of mini-Trumps trying to out-Trump each other. The result? Comedy gold that even Donnie Diapers himself might appreciate, if he had a sense of humor, that is. But the cream of the crop, the cherry on top of this comedy sundae, was a meme that showed Trump's face on a turkey. The caption? "Gobble, gobble, I won." Now that's what I call a presidential bird.
And frankly, this week, nothing feels more appropriate than presenting me as a bird who is fully and truly cooked.
It spread faster than gravy on Thanksgiving, and let's be honest, it was way more entertaining than any actual turkey. As the memes and jokes kept coming, it became clear that this wasn't just mindless fun. Nope, this was political commentary served up with a side of LOLs. People were using humor to point out just how disconnected from reality our comedian-in-chief really is. Alright folks, time to put down the meme machines and pick up our political microscopes. Trump's tantrum didn't just break the internet, it might have broken the GOP too. From crisis meetings to calls for resignation, the Republican Party's looking shakier than Trump's spray tan in a rain rainstorm. But here's the million-dollar question. Is this the end of Trump's political career, or just another reality TV cliffhanger? Picture this. Republican bigwigs huddled in smoky back rooms, sweating through their Brooks Brothers suits. They're not planning their next tax cut. They're trying to figure out how to cut ties with the orange turd without losing his rabid fan base. It's like trying to remove a tick without getting Lyme disease.
Among his potential Attorney General candidates is Texas AG Ken Paxton, who's been under federal investigation for alleged bribery and misuse of office.
Good luck with that, fellas. Some GOP members are running from Trump faster than he runs to the McDonald's drive-thru. They're distancing themselves quicker than you can say, "Kfef." It's like they suddenly remembered they have spines. Who knew? Political analysts are having a field day. One egghead said Trump's recent behavior could severely damage his standing within the Republican Party. No kidding, Sherlock. What gave it away? The unhinged tweets or the fact that he's turned the GOP into a circus sideshow?
Director Kash Patel is apparently an option there, a man so devoted to Trump. He even has a series of children's books called The Plot Against the King.
But here's where it gets juicy. Trump's poll numbers are dropping faster than his toupee in a windstorm. Voters are getting tired of his act. Turns out people want a president who can string together a coherent sentence. Who'd have thunk it? Some brave souls in the GOP are even calling for Donnie Diapers to step down. Can you imagine? It's like asking a toddler to give up his favorite toy. Good luck prying that presidency from his tiny hands. But wait, there's more. Legal experts are whispering about potential consequences. Turns out tweeting isn't a get-out-of-jail-free card. Who knew? Trump might need to trade in his red tie for an orange jumpsuit. At least it'll match his complexion.
Like climate change and appointing more Supreme Court justices. And I'm mad at the prospect of 4 more years of people saying, "So, is your job like so much easier?"
The real kicker, GOP donors are backing away like Trump's got cooties. Seems like they've finally realized that backing a human wrecking ball might not be great for business, or democracy, or anything, really. So what's the takeaway from this political dumpster fire? Trump's meltdown could cost him big time. His party's turning on him, voters are sick of his act, and the law is breathing down his neck. It's like watching a slow-motion train wreck, but the train is orange and won't stop tweeting. John Oliver's back, folks, and he's got more burns for Trump than a toaster has for bread.
And that is very depressing. So, what do the rest of us do next? Well, for the next few days, I'd say whatever you want.
After Donnie Diaper's epic meltdown, our favorite British funny man couldn't resist taking another swing. It's like Christmas came early for comedy writers. Oliver kicked off his show with a smirk that could make the Cheshire Cat jealous. "Well, well, well," he said. "Looks like our favorite orange turd had quite the week." The audience went wild, probably because they knew they were in for a treat.
What comes next? Because as we speak, Trump is assembling his cabinet, and the early glimpses into his process haven't been great.
But Oliver didn't just make fun of Trump's tantrum. Oh no, he went for the jugular. He pointed out how Trump's Twitter tirade proved everything he said in his last show. It's like Grumpy Trumpy watched Oliver's roast and thought, hey, I can do better than that. Oliver's best zinger, when he said, "I know being a shambling verbal mess is part of Trump's brand, but it is still incredible to see an incoming president ad-lib a victory speech." Ouch, that's gotta sting more than Trump's spray tan on a windy day. But here's where Oliver really shone. He didn't just make fun of Trump, he tied the whole mess together like a pro. He reminded everyone that this isn't the first time Trump's acted like a toddler who missed his nap.
Grieving, and grief has stages. We take different amounts of time for different people. The stage I'm currently locked in is anger. I am mad.
We did a show like this after the election in 2016 when no one expected Trump to win, Oliver said. This time, though, his winning felt like a real possibility all year long. It's like Oliver was saying, hey, remember when we thought this was funny? Well, now it's just sad. And you know what? He's right. It's all fun and games until the guy with nuclear code starts throwing Twitter tantrums. But Oliver wasn't done yet. He had one more punch to throw, and boy, was it a knockout. His final line? "I cannot believe you're going to be president again." Simple, but man, did it hit hard. It's like he spoke for everyone watching, everyone who's been facepalming since 2016.
Is the economy, but clearly for others, there is a willful denial going on about him because Trump lies so constantly.
And that's the genius of John Oliver. He doesn't just make us laugh, he makes us think. He takes all this crazy political stuff and breaks it down so even Donnie Diapers could understand it. Well, maybe not Trump, but you get the idea. So there you have it, folks. John Oliver took Trump's meltdown, turned it into comedy gold, and then used that gold to build a mirror for America to look at itself. It's funny, it's smart, and it's probably going to make Trump tweet something dumb again. But hey, at least we'll have John Oliver to make sense of it all.